Hey guitar players, have you ever needed to draw scale charts? With CorelDRAW, it's no problem at all. Hi, welcome to CorelDRAW Techniques. My name is John Allred. Why would someone want to draw scale charts with a drawing program? Well, you might be teaching, or you might be studying music theory and you want really clean charts. You might be writing an ebook or an online course. In any of these cases, CorelDRAW gives you consistently formatted and easy to read scale charts. You just need a few pointers to know how to get it done. Ready? Well, let's get started. I'm going to show you how simple it is to create guitar scale charts using CorelDRAW. I'll use a system of symbols that I created in a previous video, and I'll provide a link to that in the description down below. If you watched the first video, I recommend that you go ahead and create those for yourself. But if you're impatient, then go ahead and use the symbols in the file download that I provide. I'm simply going to create the charts that you see here on screen. I'm not going to design something new, but I'll show you how easy it is to get it done really quick. All right, so let's create a new document. Go to File, New, and this is Guitar Scales. I want this to be, I'm going to make this 22 inches wide by 6 inches tall. Unusual dimensions, I know, but it'll work for what we're doing here. We're using a special grid scale, and this works better for it. All right, and let's see, got everything else set. Okay. Now my document is created. And I want to save it as guitar scales, and I'm replacing that one. Let's set the page up for the drawing. Now first off, if you don't see your property bar here at the top, right click on any of the bars at the top and make sure that you have a check mark by property bar. Generally that's on, but if yours is not, then you'd be confused. Want to make sure that the ruler is in view. So there's a few other things to set. Go to View, and rulers should be selected. I don't need guidelines, but we do want to select alignment guides and dynamic guides. So set both of those. You'll have to click View each time to do it, but rulers, alignment guides, and dynamic guides. Now we're going to make sure that our ruler is set up properly. So right click on the ruler and then click Ruler Setup. And I want to make sure that it's set in inches, which it is. Now I'm going to set up the grid. Again, right click on the ruler, select Grid, and I want to make sure that the grid lines per inch are 4 for both the horizontal and vertical axes. And then we want Snap to Grid and Show Grid. So we're going to create the grid now. Go to the Polygon tool, click, and then select Graph Paper. And you'll notice in the property bar that there's a box up here that has columns and rows. And you want to set yours to 10 columns by 5 rows. I already did this previously, so that's why mine has it. All right, now I'm going to click about an inch from the corner up here both ways and go down roughly to the same, about an inch from each one. Okay, and press Control Spacebar to select the grid, and you want this to be 20 by 5. All right, now go to the top left corner of the ruler, click on the 0 point, and drag that down to the top left corner of the grid. And now that has our grid set up properly. While I'm still on the grid layer, I'm going to add the strings. I can make my strings go from wide to narrow, just the way they would appear on a regular guitar. So let me do that with 2-point lines. And I'm going to do these really quick. Click and drag to the far end. Click and drag. And I'm only doing 5 strings. Here we go. And I'm going to select each string in succession and set its width. The E string is 42. The A string is 36. The D string is 30. The G string is 22. And the B string is 16. All right, it looks a little more like a guitar fingerboard. And let's go ahead and name this layer. Click twice. To name, we'll call this grid. I'm going to lock that so that it can't be disturbed by the layer above it. Create a new layer. Call this objects. And we're now on that layer. And I can't select anything. So let me copy the items from the symbols file. I'm going to copy this graphic and paste it. I don't need that to be quite so big. I just want to be able to see it, so I'll move it off here to the side. Go back to the symbols file, and these are what I mentioned before. I uploaded this file to the web, and I'll provide a link to it in the description below. I recommend that you go back and view the earlier video that tells you how to create all of these. It's a good practice, and it'll be your symbols after that rather than just using mine. However, if you want to just cut to the chase, then go ahead and download that file, and you can use those symbols just like I'm using these. So copy. I'm going to go back to guitar scales, and I'm going to paste that. Pull these down out of the way. All right. The first, let me pull this back in where I can see it. All right, so the first scale I'm going to make is this bottom C major scale. And let me zoom out. Press Z, and I'm going to zoom out. First off, let me add the fret numbers like they have them. Make this a little bigger so we can see it. So I'm going to make the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th frets. I'm going to duplicate the 3rd because I've got it. Okay, duplicate that. It's going to go right here. All right, and then I'm going to duplicate this for the 5th fret. Duplicate again for the 7th and again for the 9th. Pull this out of the way. All right. I'm going to press F8 and then backspace, hit 5. Great. This one I can get in with the text tool, so I'm going to press backspace in 7 and backspace in 9. And I want the dot markers, so I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to stop saying duplicate every time on these things. you'll know that's what I'm doing. That's not working right. Zoom in. Oops. Right for these, but these are the only ones. Yeah, that's good. That's where I want it. So I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to go there. There we go. Duplicate, duplicate. All right. So those are set. I've got the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th frets marked. I've got the dot markers on those same frets, and ready to put in the notes. Okay, so this is a C major scale. We're going to follow the pattern we've got down here, and it's not quite. Oh, I know what I'm not doing. Well, let's go ahead and put that in. I forgot to turn my grid off a while ago. Make it a lot easier to see. I want an A. I want a B. And I want a C, but this one's going to be the root of the scale, root of the chord. So I want to use the one with the square. All right. I want a D. E. F. G. Looks like that D is not quite lined up. There we go. A. B. Guess my B is going to go here. So that's good. Now I want a D. D goes there. Well, that's not wanting to snap. That's -1 and 5. All right, I want an E. F. G. A. B. And C. All right, now we have our scale. If you're doing this in color, you can go ahead and color these red if you want to make them more distinctive, or you can use one of the round ones and color those red like this is done here. I haven't done this previously, so I didn't realize that these don't stand out quite as well as they could. They do in chord charts, but not necessarily on the scales. For our purposes today, that's good enough. You can create, well actually, let's do this. I'll show you how to do this real quick. Create a new page. I want to copy everything. This is also, we're on the second page. I can remove these. Remove those and those. All right, and I can start over with this second one. They're going to move us down here. Looks like to the 5th fret. All right, I'm going to move this off here. And I'm going to slide these down. 5th fret. Now, don't want that one. And I think I can make that. Let's see, we're going to go to 12th on this. All right, press F8, 12. So this is going to change here. So I want that 15, and then I want this, nope, it's going to be minus 3.5. Duplicate it. And let's see if we can get that one set. Yep, that'll work. Sometimes they set good, sometimes they don't. It's really weird. Okay, so let's do D again. We're going to start on the 8th fret. I'm sorry, C. And we're going to start on the 8th fret. And that didn't come out right. That's 7. D. You're going to want to print these someplace and not have this other stuff in the way. So delete those. That should take them off of both pages, and it does. All right, and I'm going to hit Z, put the page where I want it. There we go. Okay, well, we've created 2 scale charts, and that wraps it up. If you got good, useful information out of this video, I hope you'll take a moment to click on the like button below. And if you want to see future videos, then click the subscribe button and tap the bell, and you'll be notified when they come out. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again in the next video.